everyone, it's Maddie. Today we're going to be discussing Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and it being a sequel, if you haven't read Shadow and Bone, you can click here and go watch my Shadow and Bone book talk, which has all the details on Shadow and Bone, and also the giveaway. Yes, there's still a couple days to enter the giveaway for the paperback copy of Shadow and Bone. You can find out how to enter that on the video, so I will link it here, down there. Go click on it, and then come back. Siege and Storm follows, once again, our protagonist, Alina Starkov, as she has just escaped the Darkling's clutches in the Unsea. She has the Morostov stag collar still on her neck because nothing can take it off except maybe magic. Maybe she'll be able to take it off in Ruin and Rising. But her and Mal have escaped the Darkling's clutches and have made their way across the True Sea to other places where the Darkling is not. But couple chapters in, the Darkling is like, ha 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 ha, hey guys. Yeah, the Darkling doesn't go away for long. I can't believe I liked him in Shadow and Bone. Actually, you know what? I can, because he was very charming, but that charm was a facade. Under that lied creeping and seething darkness, hence the name Darkling. Leigh Bardugo, good job. You deserve all the high fives for creating a two-faced character, because I really liked him at first. I really did. I gave this a 4.25-ish rating on Goodreads and a 91% on my scale. I was not as big of a fan of this book as I was of Shadow and Bone. Like in a lot of series, I feel like the second book goes downhill. The second book is either the best book in the series or it's the worst one in the series. I find this in a lot of trilogies, series, all the things. I mean, I don't know why. I can't think of anything except Twilight right now, but New Moon is probably the worst book in the Twilight series, because I'm not going to start talking about Twilight, because if I do, I will go off on a 20-minute tangent. But if you've read the Twilight series, you know what happens in New Moon, and it's aggravating. It's aggravating. Similarly to New Moon, there's a lot of communication issues in this. I find this in so many young adult books, and I feel like that's where the main problems develop, is the lack of communication between the main characters. I guess the whole reason for the lack of communication is because we need a plot, and without the plot, everything would just be fine and dandy and roses, and we wouldn't be reading a book. We would just be reading stale material that we didn't want to keep reading. So I guess you want to keep reading to see if the two characters end up together, but anywho, Mal and Alina just needed to work out their feelings and like speak to each other, and I feel like Mal is slowly starting to become like Adam from Shatter Me, and if you've read the Shatter Me series, you know what happens in Unravel Me and Ignite Me. What accent is this? He kind of goes downhill as a character and becomes really whiny and pessimistic and really rude towards his love interest, and I feel like Mal did that quite a bit, and it quite aggravated me, because once again, we could have solved this issue with communication, the moving of the lips. Despite Mal becoming sort of whiny, we do get a semi-love interest person in this book. He may develop into one. It was more of an begrudging friendship in the beginning, and I feel like it will develop into romance. I hope it will, but I almost hope that plot twist in Ruin and Rising, Alina ends up a strong, independent woman who doesn't need no man. That is the end of the non-spoiler section, so if you have not read Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, I would read it, and then I would come back so we can discuss it. Hey, I'm back, and I'm here to talk about that ending. Oh, that ending. Leigh Bardugo put the light out. She put the freaking light out. She's gotta get it back in Ruin and Rising, right? Right? She needs her ability to defeat the Darkling. I just don't get how the Darkling keeps surviving everything. Sure, the Volcra probably didn't want to feast on his disgusting, evil flesh because he's disgusting and evil. How did he survive a building crashing down on top of him? I feel like he is immortal, and if he's immortal, that's gonna cause a whole lot of problems in Ruin and Rising. I really hope that because Alina kissed him and did the whole, woo, pull the power thing, that he's weaker now. now. But, of course, you can't put the dark out. The dark is just itself. The only way to get rid of the darkness is with a light. And we don't have a light. So maybe what would be really, really sweet would be if all of the crazy people who follow her like a cult lit candles and walked with her into battle. Oh, that would be really depressing, but also really beautiful. Maybe that would cause such emotion inside Alina that the light would come back. Yeah? Yeah, no? The visions, okay. At first, I thought he was there. First time she has a vision, it's when they're on the hummingbird in the unsea. I feel like I have to do a British accent for him. You become quite the killer, Alina. That cool voice, my eyes flew open. The darkling stood before me, his black kefta rippling over the hummingbird's deck. I gasped and stepped back, staring wildly around me, but no one was watching. They were whooping and shouting, gazing down at the flames. Don't worry, the darkling said gently. It gets easier with time. Here, I'll show you.
He slid a knife from the sleeve of his kefta, and before I could cry out, he slashed toward my face. I threw my hands up to defend myself, a scream tearing loose from my throat. The light vanished, and the ship was plunged into darkness.
And the whole time I was reading this, I was like, why did no one see him? Where? Where is everyone? Where are the reinforcements? Why? Why do we not have reinforcements in this? How do we come to find out that it's just a side effect of his crazy power? I don't like that his has gotten bigger as Alina's has fallen. Maybe this is the fall before she does something epic. The second to worst. There are two horrid visions that I was freaking out about. The first one is when Mal and her were kissing and the darkling appeared and she just was like, and then Mal goes, "You're disgusted by me. I have to leave. Oh, going to drink." Alina in her head is thinking, "Bae, come back." But the bae doesn't come back because Alina doesn't open her mouth. Second time is after that whole fight. She wakes up and thinks that Mal is there, but it's the darkling, and she kisses the darkling, and it's not a cool thing. Not at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Genya. She's deteriorated and was stabbed and eyeless and not pretty anymore. That was when I started to tear up while I was reading the book because she was so reliant on her beauty. It's really ironic that now that she's awfully deteriorated, David finally notices her. He didn't notice her in her beautiful state, but in her hobbling and crouched state of darkness. I think in Ruin and Rising, they're going to find the bird. Is she going to now have to use the feather to recall her power from inside of her, or is she going to not use it because she doesn't want some explosion to happen, or she doesn't want to become too power hungry? I'm Maddie, thanks for watching. Have you read this book? Tell me down below in the comments what you thought and we can discuss it. I'll see you next time. Bye!